Hi everyone and welcome back to my channel. Today's video I'm showing you guys how to do kakishibu-zome, also known as persimmon dyeing, and in fact my entire outfit that I'm currently wearing I have dyed earlier in this year and now it has aged to this beautiful warm dark grey colour, so let's find out how to do this ourselves today. To start off I have my piece of fabric here. It's about 2 meters long and I have pre-washed it and it's just damp now. It works best if your fabric is damp. And then I have my kakishibu liquid here. You can buy it as a powder or a liquid. I'm using a liquid form, and then I've got my mordant bath here, which is just the same amount of water as the dye. And then I have here is a iron powder that I'm just going to mix in here, and you'll slowly be able to see that this water changes into a beautiful yellow colour with the iron bath. So just keep agitating this. It's starting to change colour now. We'll do this here. Alright, so that is my iron bath there. So it's a pretty simple method that I do here. Everything is just like with tap water, no heat or anything. We're just going to go 30 minutes into the persimmon bath and then 30 minutes into the iron bath and then hang it to dry, and then just repeat the process until I get the colour that I like. Hey Siri, can you set a timer for 30 minutes? Now I am using up some leftover dye that had already been through an iron bath, so it's not the beautiful rusty brown kind of colour, but this is the colour that I've got while it's wet during the first dye. I'm also, because I'm using up the leftovers, I'm using up a very low amount of dye. It is better if you have like a bath and you can keep it submerged, but I just want to use this up before I get any new supplies. So yeah, this is what this is like now. I'm going to come back in 30 minutes. Well, I'll keep massaging it for 30 minutes and then we'll put it into the iron bath. The timer has just gone off, so I'm going to put it into the iron bath now. This is the colour after the first dye, and as you can see it's quite a purpley indigo colour, but yeah, we will stay tuned and see how it looks after the second dye. Here we have the second dye, and you can see that the colour has gotten a bit darker this time, but it still hasn't changed that much. It's still quite an indigo colour, so I'm going to give it a third dye now and keep going until we get to more of a black colour. This is what the colour looks like after I have dyed the fabric for the third time. It is not really showing up in the camera, but it is like quite a dark grey now. It's lost a lot of that purpley bluey tinge. So I think one last dye and then this is going to be good to go. So fingers crossed for that one. So this is what the fabric looks like after the fourth dye while the fabric is still dripping pretty wet. It's actually looking pretty much black now. Before when I was doing it, it was always kind of like a bluey purpley tinge. So yeah, for me I always find four times is the best way to get black. Sometimes even more, but if you're starting from a white fabric, I would definitely go 4 or more times. I've never pushed it more, usually just because I run out of dye by then. Here we have the fabric. It's been dyed 4 times and it's finally at a beautiful deep black colour. It's not like a jet black, and it will change quite a bit once it's been washed and been out in the sun drying a few times. That is the beautiful thing about natural dyeing. But anyway, this is what it looks like before I've washed the fabric Here we have the final result of the 4 times dyed kakishibu fabric. As you can see, the fabric here is this beautiful dark, almost black kind of color, whereas my jacket is this kind of warm, darker grey color. So originally my jacket also started off as this color here, but as the fabric oxidizes with the sun, air, and just gets washed a few times, the color tends to fade and soften and age. So it's one of those things where you can achieve some really beautiful results, and then the jacket or piece of clothing or whatever will kind of develop its own personality over time and become more and more of your own thing. As always, thank you so much for watching my video, and I really hope you enjoyed learning about the process of kakishibu-zome. I've kind of been exploring it for about the last year by myself, and I've had so much fun. In my video next week, I'll be turning this 2-meter piece of kakishibu dyed fabric into a pair of the easy pants, which is one of my designs. The easy pants are basically this lovely loose pair of linen pants. As someone who had a long era where I had a lot of gut issues and then just period pains and stuff like that, I wanted to make a pair of pants that had the comfort of pajamas that was also beautiful enough to wear outside of the house. So for the pattern for these pants, I decided to just go straight up from the hip without any waist tapering, and then the elastic band just kind of gathers it in. So they do have a lot of space for anyone. So if you have like endo or anything like that, they would be so beautiful and comfortable for you to wear all day long. The pants are then finished with a sakiori pocket, which looks like so. I actually hand weave the pockets on my own loom, and they're made using fabric scraps from the process of cutting out the pieces, because sakiori is the Japanese art of making fabric out of clothing or textile waste. In my video next week, I'll be making a pair of these pants, so don't forget to tune in, and we'll see you in the next one. Thank you so much. Bye!